Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and even though Mr. B does not like for me to do it, I am double checking my volumes here on the intro. Check this out. They're in Davos now, and you need to hear some of the things that are being said. Folks, it's not just about crypto. It is not just about crypto. Look, Wall Street has just come in. What is about to happen, the reason all these people in fintech and crypto and AI and all this are so excited is because they know that the IPO market's about to ignite. When that happens, it's all going to be good for everything. Crypto, IPO market, the money coming into this tech sector. This is what this guy said at the World Economic Forum.
The world that can tell you the difference between the word complete and finished. But there's a way for you to understand it. If you embrace artificial intelligence, you will be complete. If you do not and you're late, you'll be finished. And if you reject it altogether, you will be completely finished.
So they're talking about the importance of AI. Then we had Jeremy Allaire there at the World Economic Forum in Davos.
Coins and sort of what we've seen in the market is really a lot of people were paying attention to a lot of the scandals in this industry and failures and bankruptcies. But at the same time, we were seeing tremendous progress being made in continued technology development. And this is a little bit like after the dot-com boom and bust, people kind of ignored internet, consumer internet, e-commerce, but actually the technology continued to develop. And so we saw that happen last year, and we've seen stablecoins in particular remain the killer app of blockchain technology and starting to see widening usage all around the world. And so it's been a really powerful time for that, and we think 2024, with things like the spot ETF and more regulatory clarity, is going to open this up even wider.
Jeremy, about the ETF, is there a chance that if this ETF takes off and there's huge demand from the retail investor in particular, that USDC could see a decline in usage? We know there are a portion of USDC used for trading currently, but if people can buy Bitcoin and effectively a wrapper without owning it, does that diminish the case, or have you diversified enough?
Well, generally speaking, my view is that if there's a broadening of participation in digital asset markets, that is going to be the case on a global basis. And already today, if you look at the digital asset industry, it's highly globalized. And in fact, if you look at stablecoin adoption globally, it's highly globalized. And so our view is a growing market and a growing participation in the market is just going to continue to drive more demand for digital dollars on the internet. And so our view is this is definitely a tide that lifts all boats, and actually we think an accelerant to what can happen with USDC.
And
there you go. Now remember, Circle's going public. And then we have this. This is the, her name is
let's talk a little bit about the IPO market.
Adena Friedman, she is the chair and chief executive officer of the NASDAQ, where they do fintech IPOs. They're talking about the 2024 IPO pipeline. It's coming.
Let's talk.
We know of Circle and Link2 right now that they're going public.
About the IPO market, because there are some thoughts that maybe things are loosening up and maybe we're going to see a very different year.
Yeah, I think that there's the potential for that. I think that the economy continues to need to show resilience, which it has been. And I think that that's giving a lot of people more confidence on the back of the fact that inflation's coming down. So the Fed hopefully will feel like they can ease off the rate environment over as we go through the year. It's unclear as to when, but even the promise of that, or at least the expectation of that, I think gives investors more confidence and maybe to underwrite risk. So we are seeing some really interesting companies looking to go out as early as this quarter, but a lot more in the second quarter.
Peter Orszag was here earlier this morning, and he said that he thinks the market has it wrong right now, and you're not going to see any rate cuts until at least the very end of 2024. If that's the case, do you think that would put a freeze on things?
I think I'm not really expecting it to be very early in the year, personally. I think that the Fed needs to see the inflation environments come down and stabilize, be stable at a lower level. And it's likely that the declines will diminish, so meaning it's going to get harder and harder to continue to bring it down. But if they feel like they can show that stability, then they might take one action or two actions as we go through the year, and maybe more. But I'm not thinking that it's going to happen in like the first or second quarter so much.
You've been the CEO at the NASDAQ since 2017?
Yes.
So over that period of time, you've seen a lot of different atmospheres. What are you thinking about the atmosphere right now versus what you've experienced in the past?
I would say that this is, you have to expect the unexpected. This is, I think that the environment has become extremely unpredictable, and we have to get comfortable with unpredictable, which is very difficult.
Expect the unexpected. Now remember, if they're doing anything in Davos, they're stressing how important AI is going to be. Linked to, who is one of my sponsors. We know we've got a Circle IPO that's been filed. We know that Linked to is going to file. We know we have AI. We have AI on the platform like Cerebrus, and there's a few of them. Viz AI. There's a few AI companies on the platform right now. So this is getting exciting now. Okay. And you can click the link to is in the description. Now, look who else is excited. Brad Garlinghouse. He's going to be speaking at 10:20 a.m. If you go to Bloomberg Live on YouTube, you'll be able to watch him. 10:20 a.m. Eastern time. I already did the translation of time because they had this 4:20 p.m. CET time in Davos. He's going to be on stage with Caroline Pham from the CFTC. And remember, he's saying, let's effing go. 2024 is going to be big. Then Brad Combs had put up this clip from Caroline Pham just to give you a little reminder of where she's coming from.
I think when you look at traditional schools of thought around geopolitical power, you have, of course, military power, and you have economic power. And you have the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. So I think people are very concerned that should, because of these innovations in digital assets, in particular, if there really is a movement towards certain stablecoins, for example, payment stablecoins that are not, clearly they're not digital fiat because that would be a CBDC. And they're also not tokenized commercial bank money. And so if there's ambiguity over that regulation and over what those stablecoins might be, people are really worried that that's going to be a movement away from the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. And that is a national security issue for the United States, as well as a deeply monetary policy issue as well. So this is really, I think, things that people are thinking about, and it's things that people are concerned about. And I think there are also concerns about what does it mean, again, from a geopolitical perspective, if should another currency arise as the world's reserve currency, or if there's a non-state currency, so to speak, that becomes a world's reserve. That's another thing that I think people are very concerned about.
Uh-oh. Check this out from eGreg Crypto. Look at him. What's happening now with the giant cup? First and foremost, my bullish targets remain unchanged. $1.20, $1.60, all-time high, $7.50, $13, $27. The digital asset investor will be here for this one. I can promise you that. And then he's got charting and all of that. You know how it is. I love these numbers like that. Check this out. John Deaton was retweeting this. The impact of the gross government overreach can't be overstated, and the layers at the SEC, it's the lawyers, not layers, lawyers at the SEC are full of shit when they claim this was not intentional. SEC enforcement director has already misled Congress. These lawyers were following SEC leadership. And he's retweeting a tweet by David Schwartz. The first reply brief by DebtBox defendants has been filed, and it's a doozy. It's important to read because the personal consequences, including several families unexpectedly visited at their homes by armed men, are chilling. There's some really bad stuff in here. But I said this: Gary better watch out for Patrick McHenry, Warren Davidson, or Tom Emmer might write another mean letter to him. At what point are the Congress that does nothing as bad as Gary Gensler? That's my question. And then we have this from Meta Lawman. The actions of the SEC in DebtBox case are shocking. and the consequences of those actions are tragic. Families terrorized, jobs lost, businesses, reputations destroyed. Our judges are the last line of defense against misconduct like this. Let's hope justice is served. At what point do we call this what it is? SEC terrorism. SEC terrorism of its own citizens, folks. This has become a government agency that is for the purpose of holding people and companies over a barrel until you write them a check. That's what this agency has become. An agency that plays gotcha instead of trying to protect investors, plays gotcha to see how much money they can get out of somebody that they wouldn't talk to tell what exactly to do. Instead, they said, we can't tell you anything. And then once they do something wrong because they didn't know exactly what they could do or not do, gotcha. Write us a big, huge check, or we're going to sue you for years. That's where the United States of America is. SEC terrorism. Dark Davos escort services completely booked as World Economic Forum begins. I retweeted this and I said, what a great opportunity for some Epstein-style New World Order blackmail. That way, maybe our country can go even further down an evil road because these people are politicians and running our country. Get some blackmail going there, and then maybe we can get some more evil in this country. At some point, folks, somebody's got to put a stop to all of this. Now, in DAIXRP.com, we're gonna show you some clips from Dr. Evil, see what he's saying at Davos 2024. We're gonna show you some more of their evil plans that they have cooking, and then we're gonna show you some FTX stuff. The girl Whitney Webb, who wrote the book on the guy from the island, right? That girl has some new information on FTX as it relates to CBDCs and the scary thing around that. So we're going to show you that in there too. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. We're going to talk about evil and Dr. Evil. Here we go.